doing it.
There it goes.
Recording in progress. Okay.
Got it.
It's funny, I see everyone's parents' names and I'm like, oh, Mrs. Berkheim's getting on. No, that's probably David. So
Ah. Mhm.
Malachi, where are you? Is that a background or is that your, like, do you really have some cool lights in your room?
no, he lives on the edge, on the precipice of Niagara Falls.
Oh, that is what that is. I couldn't even tell what that was. It like looks like tutus lined up. Like,
It's a virtual background.
I like it.
You'll notice
I
I'm in
downloaded
sweats
it.
and Chloe has outdone me in
Oh yeah.
by wearing her uniform, and I'm like, oh no. And I saw you this morning, Mrs. Ball. You were dressed nicely, and I was like, oh, she went nice.
Don't, I have sweatpants on. Don't be persuaded.
You know, I could put a necktie on
Malachi.
over this thing. And then Tom.
Oh,
How did you draw on the sport?
We have two Jacksons in the room now.
Hi, other humans.
Hello. Good to see all you
Some
guys.
of them are not human.
I mean you.
Yeah, who has their pets with them today?
Oh, I'm gonna go get my dog.
Oh my gosh.
Mom, come here. I'm gonna show you.
We had to meet all the pets in ninth grade geometry this morning.
Glorious.
Hi.
Welcome,
Hello.
everybody.
I'm sorry, my hair is not combed.
Yeah, can you do something about that, David? I don't know if we can go on with your hair like that. It's really disruptive. I'm just kidding. You can stay. Here, I'll do this in solidarity.
Belle, get down.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I knew that there was going to be, we were going to have at least one person from my class not attend,
I know, get away.
but we can go ahead and start.
Oh,
Oh,
So
it's
it's
Malachi.
Friday. I'm going to ask everyone to be muted.
Ah.
And you should be able to, I believe, hit the space key, the space bar. It's the big fat one at the bottom. For you youngins who are used to a touch screen, I don't know. And I think, depending on your settings, generally, if you push the space bar while you're holding the space key, your microphone will open up, and then you will be able to speak and we can hear you. Should we sound off? Brody, try it. Try pushing the space key and talking. Well, it says that he's not muted, but I don't hear him talking. Ooh, Galaxy Note 10. All right, what about you, Alice? Can you say things? Can you push the space bar? And does talking work? I can't hear anybody. Maybe someone's on the mic.
I'm on an iPad.
Okay, you don't have a space key. Never mind. I assume the person whose name is Galaxy Note 10 is probably also on some kind of a tablet. Okay.
Yeah, on my iPad, you just hit the little in the corner, the unmute button for a moment.
Okay, I did it. I have to press Alt A. I'm just saying. I mean,
Okay, well, great. The alternative is the chat. So let's not abuse the chat. let's use that wisely.
I
And
can
do it,
hear everybody now.
Use it for getting my attention or getting, raising your hand or saying something like that, because I'm not going to be looking at your picture necessarily. I'm going to be looking at my whiteboard. So on that topic, if you want to throw in the chat a question that you want reviewed from the 3-6 numbers 1 through 10. I believe we did those, unless I'm mistaken. Memory serves me correctly. That's what we should have done. If you did your home day 2 work, if you're on Tuesday, Thursday, you're not under any obligation to have home day 2 work done yet. All right. Hopefully, having the correct answers can help you to figure out, if you didn't get the correct answer at first, but you see the correct answer, hopefully you'll be able to see the path to get from question to correct answer. As if nobody has any questions, I would still like to review number 5 because it involves a percent, and I feel like percentages could always use a little bit of help. So let's review number 5. I'm going to clear the whiteboard. I was afraid because when I logged into Zoom, it said it had like many updates, and I was like, oh, I hope Zoom looks familiar when I'm back in. But it seems like everything's working fine. I'm going to bigulate my screen. What's that called? Expanding it. So number 5, they ask you to express this in an algebraic expression. Translate the verbal description into an algebraic expression. Simplify the expression when you can. That's important. So they say 5x increased by 120%. So 5x, if we're going to increase something by 120%, that language is tricky because it says, sorry if I'm hard to hear it, it said that it was, it said that my internet connection was having issues. So hopefully it's not too hard. But this is number 5.
You cut in and out every other.
Ah, boo. Sorry, well, we'll have the recording. So this is number 5. 5x, stupid technology. All right, I understand that I understand. I understand. So number 5 is tricky. It says increase by. Page 176. So increase by 120% means this is what I start with. And I need to increase x times 101.2. Increase by. So we have 2 terms here. So those 2 terms, so when we translate, we should have 2 terms. Mrs. Ball, can you hear me or am I cutting out for, it seems like a lot of students are sending me messages that says I'm,
I hear you perfectly clearly, so I'm not sure why.
okay. Yeah, maybe if it's your connection, nothing we can do about that. We'll send the recording out. Hopefully I'm putting enough visual.
It's clear for me. Maybe it's like internet connection, like you said.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah,
might
there are
be a
so many
satellite
variables,
thing.
so many things that could go wrong between me, my voice, and your ears that we'll
This
just
is
have
why
to go with it.
computers are whatever. It's why computers are so less reliable.
Yeah. Anyway, so number 5, I looked at that and I thought that is really confusing because I think a lot of you might be tempted to multiply 5x by 1.2. And if you did that, you would get 5x increased by only 20% instead of increased by 120%. So one way to think about it is increased by means plus, and 120% means 120% times the original, times that starting value again. I don't want to overcomplicate it by showing you different ways of doing that. If you increase something by 100%, you're doubling it. So I have the original thing, and then I have 100% of the original thing added to it. So it's like I have 5x, and then I have another 100%. So increasing 5x by 100% would get us 10x. And so, logically in my brain, I know that if that's the case, if increasing by 100% would be doubling it, then I know that another 20% of the original would be a fifth. If I'm good at converting my decimals and fractions and whatever, I know that 1/5 of 5 is 1. I know my answer should be 11x. So when you simplify this, you have 2 terms. So I skipped a step. Let me go back here. So this becomes, give me that. This becomes 6x. 1.2 times 5 equals 6. Then we have 5x plus 6. Where's my, don't I have a highlighter? Here. So I have, oh, that's not even what I want. We'll do this. We'll do circles. 5x and 6x. Those are my 2 terms. I combine them, I get 11x. Brilliant. So last chance for if there's another review problem that you want to see, or if you have a question about what I just showed you. I just felt like as I was looking at the home day assignment, that one was a particularly pernicious. I'm gonna throw in some extra vocab words as I get the chance.
Don't throw in vocab words and don't throw in any numerals.
Roman numerals, great.
No,
I apologize, I forgot about Roman numerals. Thank you for reminding me.
I
no.
just got a
I
book
think you should do
I just
number
got
6.
that teaches you about how to see Roman numerals and tells you what they are and how to multiply them.
I should just make you watch an old movie and then tell me what year it was made in when they show you the copyright information at the end of the credits. That's a massive Roman numeral. All right, I'm going to clear this.
Is it Gladiator?
So
I think we should look at number 6.
number 6, I'm seeing it. Number 6. 7 times z. Oh, this is some phrasing too. 7 times z reduced by 1/3 of the product. 1/3 of the product. Okay. So 7 times z. I'm going to start with that. So 7 times z is 7z. And they say they want it reduced by. So reduced by, it tells me a minus, as opposed to increased by. Reduced by. 1/3 of the product would be 1/3. And the product they're talking about is that 7z. Oh, yeah, I get it. This is tricky. So let's simplify this by changing the color and showing you the changes that I do. So 1/3 times 7 is 7/3.
Is it snowing at anybody else's house?
It's here.
Yes,
It's
It is.
like a blizzard.
Thanks.
quite blustery.
Crazy.
It's like really hard.
It's really cold at my house. It's practically a blizzard outside.
Okay. So can I scroll this down? No, that doesn't work. Do I just only have this much space? I can't like zoom out or zoom in?
No, but I think you can add a new whiteboard and then navigate back and forth between them.
Ew, gross. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do this. You know what else I can do? I can use my Microsoft whiteboard. So now that I've simplified this, I'm gonna rewrite it as one equation. I might just go to the whiteboard app that I'm comfortable with. So we have 7/3 z. So now I have 7z decreased by. I know that means I'm subtracting something. 7 by 1/3 times the product. So I've got that. I've got those two pieces. I've got two terms, and now I can combine them because they are both algebraic terms that use the same variable. My z's, of course, have their stylish mustaches. So now I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to give them a common, so 7 whole, to rewrite that as thirds is 21/3. 21/3 times z. And yeah,
Those aren't as stylish as Malachi's background.
nothing is. I'm not even going to try to compare. So now once I subtract 21/3 z, and I subtract from that 7/3 z, I'm going to end up with 14/3 z. Let's check. Can this be simplified? Ooh, waiting room.
Who's in it?
Asher and Olivia. I'm sorry, I don't know how long they were waiting. Try to get them up to speed as quickly as possible. Welcome back, Olivia and Asher. So this is number 6 demonstrated. 7 times z reduced by, so that is reduced by, so this is 7 times z reduced by 1/3 times the product, which I simplified. My two terms can be combined because they have the same algebraic variable. I rewrote 7 as 21/3 so that they have a common denominator, which means I can add and subtract them. And my end result is 14/3, and I'm checking to see if I can simplify this. Is 14 divisible by 3? Not evenly, nope. And they don't have a common factor because 3 is prime. So if 14 can't be divided by 3, then I can't simplify this. So nope, can't be simplified. 14/3 z is the simplest way to express that algebraically.
Mr. Bourgeois, but can't you, well, it doesn't say that you have to simplify the expression when you can. And you can simplify it to 4 and 2/3, because that would be like the total answer, basically.
So yes.
If you wanted to simplify it into a mixed number.
If you wanted to simplify it into a mixed number, we're trying to mature you kids away from mixed numbers, because here's the problem with a mixed number, Malachi. So I apologize that you've been taught mixed numbers. Okay, mixed numbers are helpful to see the reality that you have 2 whole units and then a part of a unit in this. So if I write 2 and 2/3, you're not wrong. The problem with this is it kind of looks, once we start doing algebra like this, where we're not using the multiplication symbol anymore, we're putting numbers right up, butting them right up next to each other and showing that that's a multiplicative relationship. This 2 and 2/3 kind of sort of looks like I'm multiplying it. It kind of looks like 2 times 2/3 now. And I feel like that gets confusing. It also makes it very difficult to operate. It makes it very difficult to continue to use this fraction if I was going to add or subtract more to it. It just gets kind of messy. And so 14/3 is so much easier to work with in other operations, because likely if you were translating something algebraically, this is going to be part of a bigger math problem. And so your 14/3 z is going to be an ingredient that you're going to use somewhere else. And you're going to plug that number in, and you're going to want to be able to add and subtract and multiply and divide with that. And it's with 2 2/3. If I was looking at 2 2/3, actually it's not 2 2/3, is it? It's 4. What is it? It's 4 2/3.
Yeah.
My bad. So it's 4 2/3. 4 and did you say 2, Malachi? Someone got me on 2.
I didn't
I
even
was,
know.
I was checking the math on it. I was like, I'm not sure that it's 2.
No, I was like, wait a second. 2 2/3 is 8/3. But yeah, so 4 2/3 is a lot more difficult to operate with in future arithmetic. 14/3 is nice and neat. It doesn't take up as much space. It doesn't look like I'm multiplying 2 numbers together. It's clear that this is 14 divided by 3. Does that make sense, Malachi? So kind of,
Yes, it does.
so kind of going forward, the improper fractions are kind of the new thing once you get into the higher level math. Capiche? How are we doing on time?
And to add to that, I don't think in the past classes, it actually said to simplify it, never meant to write it as a mixed number. It would, if it wanted a mixed number, it specifically would ask you, write this as a mixed number or, but not to simplify.
Yeah, I think that's also correct too. I think, yeah, as I'm reflecting on the 3rd and 4th and 5th grade math that we're doing at home in my house, I think they always tell you, keep it a mixed number, keep it a improper fraction, or convert it, or something like that. Outstanding. Oh, the chat's lighting up. Let me see what I missed. Yep. Okay. So back by popular demand, I'm gonna give you guys some time to work independently while on Zoom. Oops. So I'm not sure, let me see. I did teach both. No, I didn't. Hang on, what did I teach? I was in the classroom for Monday, Wednesday, and I dropped a video bomb on my Tuesday, Thursday kids. So
You dropped a video? We didn't see no video.
Tuesday, Thursday kids, I sent you a YouTube link through Parent Square, Student Square.
Might as well just put it on here for all of us to watch.
No, that would be a poor use of our time. But a good use of our time would be for you to turn to page CLXXI.
Oh boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And tell me what
Yay.
picture you see. Once you get there, tell me what picture is on that page. First one to shout it out gets 5 points.
Food.
What kind of food?
Food. I mean,
Good food.
Specifically, there are 3 varieties of fruit. Okay. Yes, so that's where we're at. So this is kind of just a little bit extra of what we've been doing. So to translate a verbal description, I mentioned to some group of people. If I've mentioned this to everyone in this chat room, that's fine. You get to hear it again. But Mrs. Ball told me, we had a conversation in the hallway because we obviously just pretty much talk about math and nothing else. That the thing that we really want to inspire, one of many things. One thing that we want to inspire in you is that math is not just something that's hard. It's actually a tool to make life easier. So it's the reverse. And I thought that was really poetic when Mrs. Ball said that. Because it's true. If I give you a task, like if you have to put holes in a piece of plywood, you could probably figure out some way to do that, but they wouldn't be really great holes unless you had a drill and knew how to use it. So algebra, and this is kind of the first step of a really good tool to make word problems and finding missing information easier. Bar models were all you had up until this point. Algebra is the beginning of the end of bar models. How does that make you feel?
Strange. Very good.
All right, I'm just sending him.
I don't have to be burdened by Mrs. Leitner telling us to do bar models.
Yeah, well, we're still gonna do bar models insofar as it can help to visualize a problem, or to help you understand like the number sense, like to really intimately know the numbers and what's happening with them. But let's read at the top of this page. So some situations may require you to use more than one variable. So Andrew has a number of coins. Let's call it M. Catherine has 1/2 R coins. How many more coins does Andrew have than Catherine? So if we're comparing two values, then to see which one is greater, you have to subtract the two. How far apart are they? Why is this not going away? There it is. So page 171. So if Andrew has M coins, M is for Andrew, obviously. How many more does she have than Catherine? And Catherine's number is 1/2 R. This is it. He has this many more. Done. You don't technically need those parentheses. He has M minus 1/2 R more coins than Catherine does. So really nothing new there, except they give you new algebra. So let's look at example 18. Translate a real world problem into an algebraic expression using a table. There are grapes, papayas, and strawberries sold in a supermarket at the following prices: X per pound of grapes, Y dollars per pound of papaya, and 3/5 X dollars per pound of strawberries. If you find this grocery store, please let me know where I can go shopping here. So turn the page. Sadly, it's on a different page. Enthusiastic math student decided she's going to use a table to organize the information. She's got grapes, papayas, and strawberries, X, Y, and 3/5 X. If she has a certain total weight, I skipped over the sentence that showed the poundage of fruit purchased by somebody. Then you multiply those out and do that. Notice that she adds the like terms. You see in those blue letters right there. Group the like terms and add them together. If I was in my classroom, I'd be writing this on the board. I'm just really hesitant to do that because of the lack of space. But I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to, let's do guided practice number 7. Everyone do guided practice number 7 on a piece of scratch paper or whatever you got. If you want to use it in your notebook, that's fine. Meanwhile, I might switch to my other app, one that I like better. Do it. Guided practice number 7. Nobody has their cameras on, so I can't see if they're actually working.
I'm actually working.
You
Okay,
gave me an idea.
Me too.
So am I.
I
allegedly.
have my camera.
I'm working.
Now you can't see if I'm doing anything.
How dare you?
I think it would be helpful if in this problem, it said to put your answer in dollars and not in cents before you work it. Our answer should be in dollars, not in how many cents.
I tell you what, though, if I saw an answer expressed in cents and it was labeled correctly, I would not count that wrong.
No, I wouldn't either.
In fact, if you wanted to like convert it to like Saudi rials or like Russian rubles or something, I'd have to check the exchange rate to see if you were correct, but I'd give you props for that.
I can tell you that one of the fruits is papaya. We just got one.
Papaya tastes like stomach acid to me. I do not like papaya.
Yes. It tastes like saturated mango and acid.
But that makes sense why papaya is used in Hawaii as a meat tenderizer because it's so acidic.
Yes.
Once you said mango, Anson's eyes lit up. He loves mangoes. So don't talk about mangoes.
All right, 2 minutes is up. Let's do it. I'm gonna turn on the screen share. If I can figure out how to do this, let's see. Advanced sharing options.
You'll never be able to share.
This one. Let's see. There. All right. So number 7, Joshua had M quarters in his pocket. Of course, M is for quarters. What else would it be? He also had a dime, 1 dime, and N nickels. What was the total value of his coins? So, Mrs. Ball, you were going to do this in dollars.
Well, you just have to decide which one you're going to do it in.
I
Whether we're going to
suppose.
do it in cents or dollars.
I'm doing it in cents, so there, just because I'm a contrarian.
I like it.
So 25 M, which M is so, I want to put a Q there for quarters. Here, let me say this, guys. If ever the choice is left up to you to pick out your own variables, pick variables that make it easy to know what you're identifying in the word problem. So
M is for money.
M is for money. He has 25 monies plus 5 nickel. N is for nickel. They did that one correctly. And he had a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. Can I combine any of these terms? First of all, can everybody see what I wrote?
Yes, pretty
Brilliant.
much.
Yes. Cannot combine terms.
Cannot combine any terms because we have a numeric
You
term.
can divide it by 5.
That's right. We have a numeric term. We have 2 algebraic terms, but they have different variables. And so Galaxy Pen says no.
There's a galaxy pen.
Yeah, as you draw with it, it draws stars and various colors. It's really cool.
All of the 7th graders, don't you guys all have one of those? Like
No.
a one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
wish. Oh yeah, we did.
Okay, so this is it. There's really no simplifying, but if you're going to label, to Mrs. Ball's point, I did this in cents. This is how many cents he's got. Let's suppose we were going to do this in dollars. What would we need to do differently? I'm going to cold call on somebody. There should be like a random number generator in this thing. Maybe I can download one.
Good thing there's not.
Yeah, you just use your finger and spin it and tap it on someone's face. And close your eyes.
All right, how about, go ahead, Natalie. If I was gonna change this from cents to dollars, what would need to go differently?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the problem.
Okay, so one of the things about this problem is, so Joshua had M quarters, and it's asking what's the total value of all of his coins. And so if each, I don't want that. Let's see, I want this. If each, we know a quarter is worth 25 cents. So he has 25 cents times the number of quarters, right? So if I have 3 quarters, I have 75 cents, 25 times 3. I have 5 cents per nickel. So every nickel is worth 5 cents. It also said he has 1 dime. So we don't need a variable for dimes. We know that the dimes is is 10 cents. So I just put 10 right there.
Mr. Bushbaugh,
Hang on. Hudson is raising his hand. Go ahead, Hudson.
Put a decimal to the like cents and everything.
Yeah, so I can put a decimal. What would my decimal be?
Before the 0.25 plus 0.5 n, and then plus 0.10.
All right, what does everybody think? So I like, this looks right to me, right? So a quarter is worth 1/4 of a dollar, 0.25. And the dime is worth 10 cents, which is 1/10 of a dollar. Is the nickel worth $0.5?
Sorry, I meant 0.05.
There we go. Yep. That's the tricky part. That's the tricky part right there. Is that a nickel is worth 5 cents, which is 5/100ths of a dollar or 1/20th of a dollar. So now that we've got this expressed in dollars, when I label my units, I better just stick a $sign in front of this. I have $sign 0.25M plus 0.05N plus 0.1, and I really don't need a 0. 0.1 is good enough. That's redundant. But when we're dealing with money, 2 decimal places is generally considered good form. Unless you're pumping gasoline and then they go out to like 4 decimal places, because that's crazy. Righto.
Is that simplest form right?
Yeah, we cannot simplify this any further. Looking at this, if I was going to factor this out, I suppose I could factor out a 5. That would be weird. But then I would end up with 5 times 0.05M plus 0.01 N plus 0.05.
Okay, so it would just be N. It would just be N.
No, it wouldn't, because it's 0.01 N.
0.02 at the end. Or no.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I
Yeah.
subtracted 5/100ths. 2. You're right. That's my math. Tell you what, sometimes it's the
Wow, how could you get that wrong?
quick and easy math that you so easily miss. There are times, gosh, just the other day, I was trying to pay 25 cents and I gave him two nickels and a dime. I'm like, there you go. 2 of these and 1 of those. That's 25 cents. Nope, not 25 cents. 2 dimes and a nickel is 25 cents. All right. There's really not a whole lot of new stuff to cover. They just get a little bit more complicated with the same stuff. So we've got 13 minutes left. Let's try guided practice number 8. It's on page 174. I'm going to do this one together. I'm with you. Zibbity-bibbity-bibbity. Anderson had B tennis balls. He gave 30 to his sister and then divided the rest of the tennis balls equally among 5 friends. How many tennis balls did each friend receive? So the complicating factor that's different about this one, I'm going to read it one more time before I get off that rabbit trail. Anderson had B tennis balls. He's got tennis balls. B for balls. He gave 30 to his sister and then divided the rest of them among 5 friends. How many tennis balls did each friend get? So if B is some number, they show you a bar model, he's got B balls. This BB. He gave away 30. We don't know how much 30 looks like. Maybe 30 is like most of them. Maybe 30 is a tiny bit of them. We don't know. That's why I don't like bar models with algebra. But he gave away some chunk. Some chunk went away. The remaining chunk is called what? If this is 30 that went away, then this has to be B minus 30. Does that make sense? It's 30 less than B.
Yep, that makes sense.
Then he divided this whole chunk gets divided by 5.
B minus 6. Or B6.
Ooh,
Something like that.
who said that?
Me.
Not helpful. That's a really good point. So you see that negative 30 divided by 5 would be negative 6, right? This is just like the distribution. All right, so I'm going to say the chant. You ready? Dividing by 5 is the same as multiplying by, everybody shout it out. 3, 2, 1.
1/5.
Multiplying by 1/5, exactly. So another way to write divided by 5, the whole quantity divided by 5, another way to write that, and this is why I'm using my own app, haha, so I can zoom out or move. Another way to write that is 1/5 times B and negative 30. Now, if I'm going to, I'm going to distribute this. Well, they could have left that arrow on if I was going to just draw arrows. If I'm going to distribute that, I'm going to get 1/5 B and negative 6. Same thing over here. If I distribute this, divide by 5 to each term, I'm going to get B divided by 5, put an equal sign there, and negative 6. And these two expressions are equivalent. These two expressions are equivalent. As long as my B's don't look like 6s. What if I drew a capital B? That looks better. Come on. Come on, finger. You can do it. Those are equivalent expressions. So now, how many tennis balls does each friend get? What kind of a person gives me B divided by 5 minus 6 tennis balls? Anderson, that's the kind of person who gives his friends B divided by 5 minus 6 tennis balls. That's beautiful. It's beautiful math. All right, with the remaining time, you have 9 minutes. I want you guys to work independently on numbers 11 through, what did I say, 23? You can just do the odds if you want to. I think it's the odds. Or you can do the evens. Do the evens and the odds, why not? Actually do the evens more. Let's lean towards the evens because you can always do the odds by yourself at home and then check your answers. But you have me and Mrs. Ball, Mrs. Ball and I to help you.
What numbers?
11 through 23.
Not very good grammar.
Your grammar was right the first time.
Mrs. Ball and I, you have Mrs. Ball and I, you have me. No, that's right, you have me.
Yeah.
You have Mrs. Ball and me because I'm a direct object and being had. I'm being had by students. Makes me a direct object, so it is me. I don't think I'd want to say myself. That's kind of a peeve of mine is when people say myself. Anyway, 11 through 23, go ahead and work. And then I'll be available for questions. I think I want this, stop share. There we go.
What page again?
Page 176. I'm going to do number 12 quietly. actually. Oh, I picked the hardest math problem. Ratios always get me. Mrs. Ball, can you check if I'm doing number 12 correctly? I think I'm doing it wrong.
I always think in these, we want to know, kind of like you said with slope. We want to know 1 pound is how many kilograms, and then convert it, but that's how I do it. So
So I'm setting this up so that there's 22.68 kilograms per 50 pounds.
yeah,
And the question is asking for kilograms. And so I think I set that up correctly. How many kilograms are in 15/8 Y pounds?
but it should be
Do I need
split.
to reciprocate? I need to reciprocate that. That's right.
But I would show it as 15/8 just in the numerator, because you always want your units to line up.
Oh, right. All right, so
So
this is,
actually, so maybe, I think maybe you are right. Actually, you're probably right. Let's see, let me get the calculator out.
well, I know that kilograms, the number's got to be less than the number of pounds. So I know if my answer is wrong, then I should have reciprocated one
About
of those.
half, and about half, right?
Mhm. So if my number is bigger than 15/8, then I know that I got it wrong. And I would go and reciprocate it. That's how I've always done ratios, is checking by, did I go the right direction or the wrong direction?
That's a tricky question.
It really is. That's why I decided to do it on the board, to show everybody how humble I am by not getting this question immediately right.
I can show, I set it up as a proportion. So I would say 50 pounds divided by 22.68 kilograms equals 15/8. Oh,
Just so you know.
Y. Missed the Y.
Mr. Bourgeois,
Yeah,
I tried to do number 4 and I looked at the answer key and it did not have the same answers.
yeah. So 60% of means times. So 60% of 1/2 would be 6/10 times 1/2.
Okay.
So 6/10 times 1/2 would be 6/20.
Yes, I got that.
So 6/20 should simplify down to 3/10.
Okay, that's what I got.
So 3/10 x
But it
is,
doesn't say. It says on the answer key 0.5 Q.
are you're looking at the right one? It should be 0.3x.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Oh, is that one wrong in the answer key?
Yes.
I got that same thing in the lesson plan, like on the evens for 1 through 10.
Oh, that was one I typed. Oh, I'm sorry. No, 0.5Q is should be the answer to number 3. I'm sorry. 0.3x is right.
Yeah.
You're right. That was my my typo. Yep, 0.3x is correct. Sorry.
Yep. Got that same answer. Then I looked at the answer. I looked at the lesson plan. I was like, what?
To be honest, I don't know that this problem fits very well in this section. I'm not sure.
Number
The way
12.
I
Steve.
want to do it isn't necessarily the way.
It's a ratio problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
They do that sometimes. There have been problems that I've had to like annotate in my teacher guide. That's like, hey, they're not ready for this.
yeah. So you could do, if 50 pounds is 22.68 kilograms, you could divide both of those numbers by 50. So we would know 1 pound actually ends up being, if you divide it, 0.4536 kilograms. And then we want to multiply that by 15/8 and we get the correct answer.
Well, I did get the correct answer with my method.
Oh, then keep going
So this works. I set up the problem.
as a proportion.
Yeah, kilograms. So this many kilograms per 50 pounds times what I'm looking for. So I took that ratio times the number of kilograms I have to get the number of,
Oh, you
no, times the number of
flipped
pounds I have to convert it into kilograms.
Yeah.
And it matches the answer key.
Oh, you flipped it. Yeah, I didn't do that. That's why.
Well, because I wanted to set it up with kilograms on top because I was looking for kilograms on the bottom.
You're so
But man,
smart.
that was a brain burner for me. So. All right, number 12 is really hard, you guys.
Eli has a question for number 4 on home day.
Yeah, number 4, I also got the wrong answer for. So I copied it wrong. I just went down and zip, just typed them. Sorry, number 4 should be 0.3x.
Why don't you write that down on the board?
Sure. Galaxy Pen.
How long do we have?
Our time is over, huh?
Time's over. Go home, everybody.
Go to your next class.
We don't have one.
Passing
Yeah.
period.
Some of you do. Some of you do.
Have one. I mean, does it?
Quizbowl has quiz. So Quizbowl students, you have Quizbowl at 1:30. You're welcome.
Where?
On Zoom.
Grade writing.
Where?
In room 111. How fast can you get there?
All the way across campus. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Visuals at 120.
Yeah.
Bye.
For you.
Correct.
Just wait.
There.
What time is it?
Adios.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Later. Have a good weekend.
Adios, amigos. See you next week, but I won't see you next week.
See you, humans.
See, civil, the V does mean virtual.
What?
In civil, the civil acronym. Curious, intentional, virtual, influential, and loving.
Yes.
The Roman numeral.
I love that name, Alice.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
I love your lights, Melina, since those are actually real lights and not.
I like Olivia's art.
Thank you. My mom made it.
I can tell that's her style.
I like it. I have to find a fun background for next week.
I could never decide if Grogu is cute or absolutely hideous. Like I kind of
I don't like that name. Baby Yoda sounds better to me.
Yeah, Baby Yoda is better. I feel like
Baby Yoda is so obvious.
I feel like I move back and forth between, oh, he's adorable, and oh, oh no, he's gross. Like if you look too long at any of his features, he starts to look really gross. All right. Well, I'm gonna
Have a
cut it
good week.
off. Kicking you out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Do we have art elective? Bye, Em. Bye, Melina.
I don't know of
I
any
don't
other
think
electives that
so.
are happening.
I don't think so.
We have a creative writing Zoom for those in creative writing.
Good to know.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.